Now, this week, the U.S. Senate could take up a law that would deny certain federal funding for those so-called sanctuary cities.
Political analyst Melissa Caen is here to tell us about the future of this law. Melissa?
That's right, guys. Ball dude, but I'm still in awe of that I know you. Like, it's very exciting.
We'll talk after the show.
Okay. Now, on Thursday, members of the House of Representatives voted overwhelmingly to pass a law that would stop some federal funding for cities and states that refuse to cooperate with federal immigration officials. Now, some Democrats are calling the bill the Trump Act, tying the bill to Trump's comments about undocumented immigrants. The vote was basically party line, with Republicans in favor and Democrats opposed. I will point out that one California Democrat, Congressman Ami Bera, who represents parts of Sacramento, did vote in favor of the law. Now, the law says that cities and states that refuse to communicate with federal immigration authorities about any person's immigration status will lose access to some funding. Specifically, it names 3 kinds of law enforcement grants that would no longer be available to those sanctuary cities. Now, I did some digging and I found out that in the year where we have the most recent numbers, in 2014, the state of California, including the amounts given to its cities and counties, overall received over $100 million from these 3 sources. That's about $60 million given to the state directly and about $40 million given to various local governments. So you can bet there would be some soul searching in the state capitol with that kind of money on the line if this bill were to pass.
Yeah, that is a lot of money. How about San Francisco? If this legislation passed, how would it affect the city?
Well, you know, I listened to the debate over this bill in the House, and they talked a lot about San Francisco, right? Kate Stanley's father was there giving testimony. A lot of San Francisco talk when it came to passing this bill. But in San Francisco, where the legislation seems to be aimed, there's only about $600,000 that the city got from these law enforcement grants back in 2014, which is not nothing, but the city has a $9 billion budget. So it's hard to see that it would be terribly hard hit by the loss of those federal funds. So even if the law passes and the state is forced to react, it's not necessarily going to force a change here in San Francisco.
Okay, and so what's next for the bill?
Well, so it's passed in the House, and now it's going to go over to the Senate, and it's going to be debated in the Judiciary Committee. Now, who's on that committee? Well, for one, Ted Cruz, the Republican presidential hopeful, and he's been very clear that he is against sanctuary cities. This is an opportunity for him to drive the debate into some headlines for himself and his campaign. Now, another member of the committee is our very own Senator Dianne Feinstein, who, you remember, was the mayor of San Francisco in 1985 when the city first enacted a sanctuary city policy. So she will be right in the middle of this debate as well. It is going to be a very, very fascinating hearing. Stay tuned.
All right, do you have a crystal ball?
I wish.
If you did.
It seems like it's probably going to pass the Senate, although we've got the issue of a potential presidential veto looming. So we'll see.
Okay.
All right.
Melissa,
Thanks,
great stuff. Thanks. It is 6:52.